Welcome, everyone, to another edition of No Holds Barred, our little end cap for these games, these journeys as I call them, that we do on this channel. At the end of every game, every journey, I sit here and I give my thoughts to you beautiful people about what I think of the game, etc, etc. Usually it's quite rambling, usually it makes very little sense when you look at it as a sort of game critique, but that's why they're not game reviews, they're thoughts videos. For those who don't know, hello, my name is Ezio. And as you can see, we have just completed Kingdom Hearts. Well, I say completed, we've 100%ed Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Interesting game, not gonna lie. For those of you familiar with the history of this channel, or at least looked at the playlist, when we first started, we did a 100% run, and we did a full franchise run even, of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. And at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, after we beat Yuzora, I said I take an oath I will return to Kingdom Hearts when the next game comes out, and admittedly it's a smidge late, tiny bit late, but we've come back and we have looked at this game, and yeah, it was interesting, I'll give it that. It's not a bad game, it's not entirely what I was expecting from a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 3, gonna be honest. Rhythm game is not something that immediately springs to mind as a mainline title. Well, I say mainline title. Kingdom Hearts is a way of doing these little side games where they actually have key bits of story in it, such as this one. I like that throughout this entire playthrough I've joked that is basically Kingdom Hearts for, recap to music. Because that's what about 90% of the game is. Well, 95% of the game really is you basically go through the world tour, which is highlighted above, up there. And you basically get a recap of everything that's happened across the Kingdom Hearts franchise. It admittedly helps me put some things into perspective, and I suddenly went, that's what that meant, or oh, that's who that Jawa was. But anyway, yes, so in terms of the game, graphics, fine. Would I say it's not as pretty as Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm going to be honest. I think they may have not, I'm not sure if they used the Unity 4 engine on this one, but I could be mistaken. Either way, it serves its purpose. It's not a bad looking game, it's not astoundingly beautiful, but it's alright. It's middle of the road as far as I'm concerned. Music, of course the music's good, the music's brilliant. I love the music in Kingdom Hearts, it's some of the best I've heard. Gameplay, well, as a rhythm game, they did a good job. I'm not one for rhythm games, so take this with a pinch of salt by all means. I am not a massive rhythm game player. This is the most I've played a rhythm game in a very long time. It works, the controls feel fluid. There are some bits where it feels like there might be input delay, but I couldn't honestly say because it could just be my lack of skill. But at the same time, there are definitely, when you start getting, once you start building up your confidence and you get into the proud mode territory, it can become a lot of fun. Vector to the Heavens, which is a beautiful song in its own right, ended up becoming basically our stopgap at the end of the majority of our streams, as I tried to get 100%, I tried to 100% that with all 3-star missions. That was very nice. I love that song and it was brilliant, and once you hit proud and you start working out the process, for me it was absolutely amazing where you could just go dunk 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 dunk. So maybe that's the beauty of the rhythm game. Don't know. Will I be visiting rhythm games again in the future? Probably not, but it was a nice change of pace from our usual RPG madness. Story-wise, like I said, it's a recap of Kingdom Hearts, from Kingdom Hearts 1 all the way up to Kingdom Hearts 3. Not including Remind, because it doesn't include Remind. End of it is story, which is about 5% of why most people, I think the majority of people who played this game have played it for the very last mission, where you get the new bits of story and you see where Kingdom Hearts 4, maybe, will take you. I don't know. Kingdom Hearts is a weird way of doing different games. Maybe we'll get Kingdom Hearts 4 in the sequel, or maybe we'll get another spin-off game. Who bleeding knows? Either way, yeah, the story isn't anything to write home about. If you don't want to play through the rhythm game side, just look it up on YouTube. That's my honest opinion. It's not worth. We took 40 hours to get through it because 100%ing it took us 40 hours. If you enjoy rhythm games, you'll probably love this. If you enjoy Kingdom Hearts, you'll probably play it anyway. But yeah, if you're sort of middle of the road, just watch it on YouTube. And I think that is pretty much everything. What have we covered? We've covered graphics, we've covered story, we've covered gameplay, and of course we've covered music. Once again, music, beautiful, love the music, fantastic soundtrack. Have I covered everything in the game? No. I've not done the versus battles, and I've not done the co-op, but that's fine. I don't usually go for those things anyway. Collectibles, however, Oh, chat has already heard a massive rant by me on collectibles. Just, no. Look, here is where we get into the salt of the matter. A lot of this game feels like padding. In every world, in the World Tour, you have a Kingdom Hearts world, Agrabah, or Atlantica, or Passage to the Skies, Twilight Town, Traverse Town. You know, if you've ever played Kingdom Hearts, you've got a series of worlds, and you have 1 to 2 songs, maybe sometimes 3, and each song has 3 missions, 3 optional criteria that you can do to complete it. However, a lot of these do feel like padding. That's the heart of the matter. A lot of them do feel like they were an arbitrary thing that they threw in, or they made a bit more difficult just to try and pad out the length of the game, which I suppose it's something to chase, so it's not too bad. However, the cards in the museum I find particularly egregious because you have 2 types of cards. You have gold cards and you have platinum cards. Now, Ezio, you might say, what is the difference between these 2 cards? Well, one has a different border. That's it. All you have is a different border around the card. So you might as well, you're collecting 2 of the exact same thing, one slightly rarer for a shiny border around it. I'm sorry, no. I'm not. Maybe if you enjoy massive collectathons and opening card packs, by all means, I'm not going to judge you. Enjoy it. But for me personally, no. I am not going. If it's a collectible, if the game requires me to grind and work for it, it has to be something worth my time, not just chasing the exact same thing that I have already picked up through the game and ground resources for. No. End of. That's all. As I said, modes as well. You've got the track selection, where you've got plenty of tracks where you can literally, you don't have to go through the world tour, you've just got a long list of tracks. You've got performance mode, so there's extra rampings of difficulty if you really want to chase that. But yeah, otherwise, it was a fun game. Not one of the greatest games of all time, nothing earth-shattering, but it was a fun little diversion for us. What's chat got? Palomino, finish the world tour, now the Outer Worlds tour. Yes, indeed, that's where we are revisiting next, but I'll cover that after I finish this thoughts video, and with that, I think that's everything. Like I said, these are just my thoughts on the game, and as always with Kingdom Hearts, an oath to return. Kingdom Hearts, and as I did with Remind, I do with this. When the next Kingdom Hearts game comes out, you can bet that I'm going to play it. That's it. It's as mad as this game was, I can't lie and say I didn't enjoy it. Because at the end of it, as the credits roll, go back and watch the VODs if you want, I was smiling. I always smile. These games infuriate me, and I rant and rave and I complain about the story making no sense, but at the end of the day, they're a lot of fun for me. They are just a lot of fun, and the memories I have made playing through not just this game, but the other games, this is why I will always revisit Kingdom Hearts. As far as I'm concerned, this is where our channel started. Kingdom Hearts 1, over 2 years ago, is where we began. I'm gonna keep playing through them. I'm gonna keep revisiting it. For as insane as it is, I do love a bit of insanity. But anyway, I have rambled on long enough. I have waffled on a bit too long. So with that said, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for listening to this thoughts video. And to each and every one of you, may you all have a beautiful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever it is around this whole wide world you are. And as always, until our paths next cross again, the vortex awaits. And I'll see you all next time.